Hi guys, today I'm going to review soldering. Some of you might have missed this demonstration or you just need a review. This is some silver wire. It's already been soldered together in a couple places you can see here and here with hard solder. So now I'm going to use medium solder for the second stage of this. And this is just a little demonstration piece. It's nothing really that exciting, but it'll show you how this looks in silver, which solders the same way as brass or copper. So first thing I need to do is I need to cut my solder into some little snips. So I'm going to use my wire cutters, and I'm going to grab the wire. Okay, and I'm just going to take a little piece, something like this, and flip it upside down so it just lands on the block so it doesn't go flying in the air and I don't lose it. So I'm just going to snip a couple pieces. There's one, and two, and three. And I usually do one for good measure in case something falls off the block or something. Okay, so I did 4. I really just need 3 because I'm going to try to solder right here. Oops, those 2 pieces together. Shifting everything around now. Hopefully in 3 points. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to put that down. And then I need to flux. Okay, so you always flux your metal when you're soldering it. And this is a paste flux. And you just apply it with a brush. It's going to make things move around, but you want to coat everything. It's good to flux everywhere. It protects your metal from oxides that prevent soldering and keeps your metal nice and clean so that the solder flows well. So you flux the whole piece really well, and then we are going to heat the piece with the torch, and we're going to, so I'm just going to turn it on. So we have the torch, and just to review, when you light the torch, you're going to be turning it the dial a little bit to the left, just a tiny bit till you hear a little bit of gas coming out, and then you're going to light it with the striker. Okay, and so I'm turning it on. You can just hear a little bit of gas, oops, coming out. Okay, just hear that little hiss, and then you're going to light it. You don't want to light it inside here, you want to lift it a little bit away, and that will light your torch, okay, really quickly without popping. Once your torch is lit, I am right-handed, so I switch my torch into my left hand, and I'm going to heat my piece up. And I want that flux to, it'll first go kind of white and fuzzy, you can kind of see it bubbling up, and then it's going to go clear. Still white and fuzzy. And eventually the flux will get hot enough and it will go clear, and that tells you it's the right temperature to start soldering and that the flux is ready to receive. And you might need to use your pick at this point if anything moved around, but it looks okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat a piece of solder up till it balls into a little tiny ball. Make it shiny. Take the torch away, grab it with my pick while it's still shiny. If it doesn't stick to your pick, just heat it up again. It's on my pick now, and now I'm going to heat the piece, my metal first, and then I'm going to place my solder right where I want it, and then I can do this one at a time, or I can set up a bunch of things. Sometimes your solder jumps to one side or the other. One side gets hotter than the other. There we go. And I'm going to heat another piece up. So when it balls up, I take my heat away and I come in with my pick, sticks to the pick, and then I'm going to heat the next section that I'm working on, which is right here. Put it in place. Now heat evenly, so that I'm going to make sure you can see that. Heat it in that area evenly. Solder flows towards heat, remember? So if one part gets too hot, the solder will flow in that direction, and it might not be where you want it to go. So you can use the torch to direct the solder exactly where you want it to melt. It's about to melt now. You can also poke it. It's kind of a big piece of solder, but you can poke it with your pick to kind of help it move around a little bit and spread out. And this is a very tiny torch tip here. There it goes. And then I'm going to do my next one. heat that area. Place it. Heat evenly. Watch the color of your metal when it starts to get kind of red and glowing. It's getting really hot, and you want to be careful. You don't want to melt your metal, you just want to melt the solder that's joining the two pieces of metal. So make sure it really flowed nicely, and that looks good. So you turn your torch off to the right, nice and tight, and before you put it down. Now remember, your piece is hot. Don't touch it. Grab it with the tongs. If it's stuck to the block like this, which happens frequently because of the flux, it kind of like sticks. You take a little bit of water from the bucket and just kind of dribble it on there. It's very exciting. Kind of fizzes up, and that will release it really well. Then you're going to, if I can move this over here, rinse it in the water to cool it off and rinse it off. And then you're going to take your piece and you're going to put it into the pickle. And I don't know that I can do this really quickly, but the pickle pot is over by the windowsill, so I'm going to walk over here, put it in the pickle, and when I take it out, I need to use my copper tongs, remember? So it's going to sit in the pickle for 5-10 minutes if it's hot. Then I'll take it out. We'll pretend it was in there. And then you rinse it off, and then you can handle it. You can dry